Welcome back here on the Roundtable program for this Sunday afternoon. I want to take you to the Washington Post website this afternoon and show you something I stumbled across this week. They have put on there, as we all talk about the fiscal cliff, and over the last couple of weeks there have been a number of websites out there that's saying the words they want to get rid of in 2012 are fiscal cliff. Well, we may not have a choice. We may be talking about it for weeks to come. But they put on there a fiscal cliff calculator. And I'll tell you what, this thing is intimidating. You go on there, it tells you, what's your family makeup, what's your income, and then it goes through the different plans, the Democrat plan, the Republican plan, and then if we go over that fiscal cliff, what's it going to do? Go check it out. I hate to push people off to other websites that aren't linked to 13abc.com, but I found it interesting. So I turned to both Paul Toth and Thomas Winston from the Toledo-Lucas County Port Authority today, joining us here on the Roundtable. Those are probably two dirty words put together, fiscal cliff. When you guys hear it, what's your take? I mean, how does it affect things? We know individually it's going to affect your household, it's going to affect your household, it's going to affect mine. But from an organization like the Port Authority, what does it do?
Well, one of the things that we've been involved with and very successful at over the last, actually for the 25 years I've been with the organization, but really successful over the last 10 years is leveraging local dollars for state and federal grant dollars. Mm-hmm. And the number is somewhere around $140 million in federal and state money that we've been able to leverage with $20 million of local funds. And we've had a lot of success. The redevelopment of the Ironville property, the redevelopment of the old Jeep site, the Overland property, that's really been a matter of us being able to take local dollars and leverage them with state and federal programs through HUD and through EDA and lots of other programs out there, and it concerns us because we've been successful, we're getting a lot of momentum, and if we have to deal with the fiscal cliff, we recognize that a lot of those programs are going to be challenged and cut. And we've done things like applications for new market tax credits that we've been able to bring in and bring equity to projects, and so it is a bit concerning from our standpoint. It's not going to affect where we're at with the Jeep site redevelopment or Ironville, because we've got all of our resources already committed to move those projects forward. But going forward, what do we do as a community to fill those gaps? And it's a challenge.
The tough thing too, and I mean, we have seen this all throughout dealing with the recession, and all these local communities here that had all these not grandiose, just bigger plans for themselves. All of those things go back on the back burner, and a lot of them haven't come off yet, haven't been moved up to the front. So as you look at it, I guess the uncertainty of what Washington is going to decide, because there are so many different scenarios that are being played out with this could be cut, that could be cut. Either way, if we go over, taxes go up, programs go out. But how can you be proactive these next few weeks with the possibility of this, that, and the other?
Yeah. You hit it right on the head, Jeff. The key word is uncertainty, and it has far-reaching implications to individuals and their households as well as for businesses. We deal with businesses. We target those who are looking for long-term financing activity. And just like what happened in 2008 and 9 and 10 when we had the economic downturn, these businesses see uncertainty in the marketplace, and they begin to take capital, reserve capital, and really have it sit on the sidelines. And with part of our portfolio and what we do at the Port Authority is innovative financing, that activity basically comes to a halt whenever businesses don't see where economic certainty is the order of the day. Yeah. So we're working with them. We're talking to them about the benefits of perhaps looking at long-term financing for those who want to grow their businesses in so many different ways, whether it's through our lending programs as administrator of 504 and 166 loans, as well as through our bond fund, where we provide upwards of 20-year long-term fixed rate financing. It's still an environment that's conducive for businesses to really deploy capital for long-term growth.
But are you noticing some of those businesses that you work with, and the ones that ship, the ones that fly, the ones that drive cargo in, are you noticing the antsiness coming back?
No, absolutely, absolutely. I think uncertainty in Washington, not only locally, but it has that global implication. Yeah. You don't know what the ripple effect would be. The fiscal cliff discussion started or centered around our whole debt ceiling. and it created a rating of the government of the United States. Right. And there's a ripple effect if we don't have clarity going into 2013 on where we stand with basically spending cuts and tax generate or revenue generated by taxations. There can be a ripple effect where there are some other things that come into play. And that uncertainty is what businesses are looking at, saying, I don't know how this will directly impact me.
I don't want this to sound like you guys have a big head about it, but I can't think of a more, a better example of something like this affecting an organization more than you guys, right, when you are so dependent on those federal and state dollars.
We are. I mean, it's how we're able to do the development things and the things that we do on a daily basis, and we almost take it for granted. And certainly you got to step back and I think we've all come to the realization. We were incredibly successful in Northwest Ohio when the federal stimulus program was put in place. We became the envy of other port authorities around the state and the country because of what we were able to do. We happened to be in a position where we had done a lot of planning and we're ready to take advantage, but we brought somewhere like $25 or $30 million into the community. But you know, the bottom line is I think we've all come to the realization is that it can't continue. We know that. Yeah. We have to figure out, I talk a lot to our partners, the Chamber and the RGP and the Toledo Community Foundation about the fact that we've got to recognize that we've got challenges just like every other community does, but we've got to stop waiting for somebody to come in and fix them. We've got to figure out how to fix them ourselves. And I think the challenges that we've seen with the debt ceiling issue and now the fiscal cliff, I think we all have to step back and say, maybe we need to take a different approach to this. And so, I know that, like, for instance, Governor Kasich had an $8 billion deficit that he had to deal with. He dealt with it. It wasn't easy. Everybody has survived through this. And now I see that the state of Ohio is leading the country in job creation. Right. We'll get through it. We're resilient. We're Americans. This is what we do. And I just think we need to step up to the challenge and try to figure out another way to skin the cat.
Let me ask, we've only got a couple of minutes left, and I want to ask real quickly something that the city of Toledo has focused on, and that is foreign investment. And is that something that you guys are also, we hear it so much from the 22nd floor, but as far as the Port Authority is concerned, I don't care who takes this one, but I'm just wondering, is that also something you guys are going out there? You talked about the RGP, obviously very involved with the trips to Japan.
Yep. I've actually been on two of those visits to China, and you know, we've struggled as a community, just like many have, to grow organically. It's almost impossible for us to
it hasn't dried up completely, right, but it's just been more tough.
It's very difficult, and I think one way, and I give the RGP and Mayor Bell and everybody involved, the business community, a lot of credit for recognizing that there is a big opportunity to grow by international investment. States around the country have full teams that do nothing but international investment promotion. So I think we've taken it to the next level, and I don't know of another community out there that is as engaged as we are in Northwest Ohio.
Thomas, get in on this. We got about a minute left.
I think Paul hit it right on the head. We need to grow. We need to look at other avenues for growth. We travel a lot to Columbus and other areas, and we see cranes and we see development, and we need to get there. The opportunity is there for us to get there. I think from a Port Authority standpoint,
whether it be domestically or internationally.
Absolutely. I think from a Port Authority standpoint, on our operational side, we're diversifying our portfolio, so we're not so reliant on one particular avenue. In the past, it was mainly airlines, and we've seen the deterioration of airline revenue just from what's taken place in the market. We purchased the garages from the city of Toledo last year. We're looking at development at Ironville as well as the old Jeep site. We're really looking at other avenues to grow our operations and to work with other partners to grow Northwest Ohio and Toledo.
Thomas and Paul, happy holidays to you both. Thank you so much for spending some time. We'll wrap things up right after this.